What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are, Wednesday morning, and I'm sitting here in the green, but it's the slowest day of the week so far. But the good news is it's another green day, and so I'm now about 7% of the way towards my $1 million goal for the month of July, sitting at about $68,000 on the month. Today, I'm up $17,913.48, just under the $20,000 hot market daily goal. Yesterday was a $50,000 day. Monday was a $99,000 day. So I'm in great shape on the week, $167,000 on the week. So I'm in really good shape there. But today, things were definitely a little bit different. So the issue this morning was that, well, I'm in Europe. So I pulled up my phone, and right away at 4:30 in the morning, I already saw that we had a stock that was up like 300%. But what happened was it popped up at 4 a.m. and then just kind of sold off. So, of course, I didn't trade it. And coming into like 7 a.m., which is when most retail traders begin trading, it had pulled back so much that I felt like that sort of had set this tone of a little bit of a bearishness. And then the second leading gainer wasn't up that much, and the third and the fourth weren't up that much either. So coming into 7 a.m., we really didn't have anything that just looked fantastic that I was super excited about. Let's go ahead and jump on the screen share, and I'll start breaking it down for you. So you can see the P&L right there, $17,000. So green is good. LIXT is the last stock that I just watched. Rallied into one halt up, dipped and ripped, and all the way to a second halt up, then resumed and halted down fairly dramatically. And that was where I said, you know what? I think I'm done. I don't want to push my luck here. CYN, this is a stock that got me a little frustrated. A lot of selling up here around 1650. I tried to trade it. I mean, I did trade it, but I couldn't make good money on it. So if we go back to the beginning of the day, CYN was the first stock I traded. 7:04 a.m., the stock pops up, and I'm looking at it right here as it's squeezing up. It's got breaking news that came out at 7 a.m., top of the hour. So by the way, our leading gainer was DAIC, but as you can see with this one, it started at 4 a.m. with this kind of big spike, which was continuation from after hours, and then sold off. So although it popped up a little here at the open, there's nothing really that exciting. MOGO is the stock I actually made the most on. I'll show you the trade I took on that. It went up about 250% on a cryptocurrency headline. It commits up to 50 million to Bitcoin in strategic shift. But you know what's interesting is that ADTX put out a similar headline. Their headline was, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't ADT, or was it? Excuse me. It was ATXG, actually. Enters into term sheet for proposed acquisition of $1.3 billion of Bitcoin. And yet the stock pops up and comes all the way down. Why? $1 billion, that's huge. Well, it's a Chinese company, and I think people don't believe it. They don't I mean, look, I could enter a term sheet to buy $1 billion of Bitcoin right now. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, right? Anyone could put something in writing. Once you actually do it, once you actually have the money, if you receive $1.8 billion or $1.3 billion in a private placement to go buy the Bitcoin, that's going to be a lot different. And that's not the case here. So popped up, dropped back down. But MOGO, on the other hand, this headline was considered more credible by the market. And so we did get good price action on that. But I started the day with the first trade on CYN. So CYN pops up at 7 a.m. And man, you know, as it comes up again here, it's going to give me a little FOMO. But here's what I'll tell you. It keeps knifing down here and here. So what's the deal with that? Those high volume red candles, something's off about it. There's no denying it. Something is off about it. And the best trades, they don't give us those rejections. And in fact, it started with big rejections right here, as you can see. So my first trade of the day, I lost $140 on it. I broke the ice and I went red. I jumped in it for the break of 16. It goes up, comes right back down. You can see how it broke 16, came right back down. It got out basically break even. And I was grateful to be out break even because it could have been a big loss. Next stock was VCIG. I traded this at 7:30, bottom of the hour. That's when breaking news came out. I jumped in this for the break of 3. So I jumped in right up here at about 295 for the break of 3. It breaks 3, goes up to 330, locked up the profit, $4,183.90. So now I'm on the leaderboard at 730, but VCIG didn't keep going higher. So, I tried, but it just didn't want to keep going. So then the next stock was MOGC. So MOGO. MOGO. Where's my chart? MOGO here. So this one, I at first was like, I don't know, guys. It's cheaper. It's a 22 million share float, which is a little higher. I don't know that it's going to be worth it for me. I was kind of iffy on it. However, as you can see, it kept going higher and higher and higher. So I broke the ice with my first trade on this right here for the break through this high. I got in at about 255 and rode that momentum all the way up to 3. Fantastic trade. Locked up about $15,000 on it. It pulls back. It pops back up again. Pulls back. I add back here for the break of 4, and I gave back about $4,000 as it dropped back down. So peaked at 15,000, dropped back down, and then made back a little bit at the open right here on this red to green move. But it didn't go back through 4. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the big win on that I might have liked to have gotten. And then as we got closer to the open, there just wasn't much else going on. CYN, had curled back up again, and I took this trade on it at the open or just after the open. You can see right now it's back up at $17 a share. There's the level 2, halt level $17.95. But what's interesting is it keeps approaching these levels and then flushing. So right up here, we've got a seller at 17. You can see the 14,000 share seller. And so, someone's got to buy 14,000 shares for that to break. Now, that could happen. This is not an unattractive daily chart in a way. I mean, yes, you've got red candles, but today it's bouncing. You've got some news on it. It's not the most substantial headline, but they say they've secured funding through 2027, so that, in theory, should decrease the likelihood of them needing to do another offering, but they just did an offering in June. So, and the fact is, why is there so much selling? That's kind of my problem is, and this was the same issue with ATXG this morning. There shouldn't be this much selling. It's just a huge wall at 17. And people that buy at 17 then panic and dump here at, 84 because they're like, oh, shoot, that's a 15-cent loss. I'm just going to get out. And then finally, maybe it breaks, they get back in. So you get back in here at 1705. Okay, finally we broke. But what's it doing? And then you stop out a second time and you're like, okay, now I'm going to really lose my mind on this thing. So this is just too choppy. It's got all the red flags on it. And look, maybe it goes higher. I hope it does. But for me, I'm going to take the profit off the table. $17,000 goes a long ways, and I'm grateful for it. I don't want to overstay my welcome. So I'm going to close it down just like that. And I don't take a single trade more. I don't look at the charts anymore. That's the key thing. I cannot continue looking at charts on my phone, because if I keep looking at my phone and pulling up the charts and refreshing it, I'm just going to get FOMO. I'm just going to get frustrated seeing something going that I'm not trading. So out of sight, out of mind, I'm not going to think about the market until I sit down tomorrow morning. Now, by the way, today is the second day of July. It's the 4th of July on Friday, and that means we've got our 4th of July sales going on right now at Warrior Trading. So if you haven't checked them out, I'll put a link and I'll pin it to the top of the comments and I'll put it in the description where you can check out our 4th of July bundle that we've put together on our Warrior Pro membership. The bundle includes a full year of access to my live audio video broadcast and our day trading chat room. Plus, it gives you 90 days of access to Day Trade Dash, which is the software that I use every single day for charting, scanning, and breaking news. That's this software right here. Now, our chat room is built into it, and we'll give you the chat room for the full year, but we give you access to this, to all the real-time market data for 90 days. The market data is pretty expensive, so we put that together for you for 90 days. And then we're also giving you guys 90 days of access to a trading simulator so you can practice these new strategies you're learning in a safe environment. Because, like I always say, trading is risky. My results aren't typical. So always manage your risk and practice this simulator before putting real money on the line. So we're going to give you the simulator, so that makes it really easy for you guys to follow those sorts of words of wisdom. So with that, I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a great rest of the day. Overall market, I'll just comment S&P 500 basically sitting up here at all-time highs. I mean, the market's been really strong. So, we've got a nice tailwind. And we just need that combination of the right catalyst, which right now seems to be in the crypto space. this is one of the longest lasting catalysts that we've had, this theme with the crypto, treasury headline. So BMNR is one that received a $250 million private placement, and it's still holding up. I mean, if you go back on this one to last week, it went up 1,600% over the course of 3 days. And right now it's holding up, a solid 1,000%. That's impressive. So at this point, I'm waiting, for the next stock that has a similar headline, but trying not to get fooled by companies like ATXG that pop up and immediately reverse. So that's the key. And educated intuition is helping me make those decisions. So thanks as always for tuning in, and I'll see you guys back at it first thing tomorrow morning.